This is Zach, also known as Famous Friend, a dream pop music artist from LA. Today we caught up with him in Echo Park to talk about his music, being in the industry, his upcoming show on the 31st, and more. And now, enjoy the latest episode of the Also Known As podcast. Hi guys, so we have Famous Friend here out in Echo Park. Say hi.
What's up, guys?
Can you just give us a little introduction?
Yeah, my name's Zach. I've got a project called Famous Friend. It's kind of like a dream pop, indie surf mix. And I'm from Los Angeles, and we're out here in Echo Park doing the swan boats, this casual swan boats on a long weekend.
Speaking of LA Dream Pop, I saw it on your Instagram bio. How did you land on that sound, and how long did it take you?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I still don't know if like everything I do like would be called dream pop, but I think it's like a lot of the music I make, I feel like nostalgia is like really important, and just kind of like reflecting on different times in my life. And I don't know, I just really like kind of like hazy, like reverb vibes. But I think the thing that's interesting about it is I also kind of like, I don't know if I have it officially, but I'm kind of like ADHD, and I like up tempo music. So I feel like it's kind of like dream pop, but then I get bored if it's too slow, so I just like speed it up. And that's kind of I guess how I arrived at it was like I was just like kind of writing these dream poppy kind of like guitar progressions, and then just like speeding them up and putting like post-punk drums on them, and then I kind of liked it. So then that's how.
That's crazy that you mentioned nostalgia, because I wrote down that your music reminds me of a place that I've never been to, but it feels nostalgic. Especially, I felt that after Bunny Ears.
I think that makes sense, like, because a lot of the songs are about, like, some of them are about real specific things, but others are kind of like taking different like visuals and sounds and kind of like, I don't know, it's like also a lot of like dreams that I have too, and trying to like put them together into something that like evokes a feeling. So like with Bunny Ears was like, I've got this like my bedroom, there's a window in the back of it, and every day at like 3 or 4 the light like comes through in this really specific way. And I think I've written like 3 or 4 songs just because of like how inspiring that time of day is. And low-key, I should probably write a song at that time of day every day now that I'm thinking about it. But like basically the sun was coming in, and there was this mourning dove outside the window that was like cooing, and it was like I was playing guitar and it was cooing, and it was like doing this cool like kind of rhythmic thing with the guitar. And I was like, whoa, like it was like kind of like almost sounded like a percussion or like a synth part with the guitar. And so then I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if I sampled it and did like a duet with this bird. And so I was thinking of it that way, like, okay, like this is Famous Friend feature right now. Just making sure we don't cry. I get one crash.
That wasn't a crash.
Okay. Okay, we still got the crash in the bank. But yeah, like I was thinking of it. Okay, this is Famous Friend feet mourning dove, or like feet bird. And so I was treating it like a little collab, and then I sampled it on my phone and put it into the song. And then I made like a synth part that kind of sounded like what the bird was doing. So basically like, but it just, I don't know, it made me feel really nostalgic. It made me feel kind of like I was thinking about like, also a lot of times I kind of like, I don't know if the word is melancholy, but I like, it's sort of like this feeling of peace that's like a little bit sad when you get really quiet, you know?
Yeah.
And I still don't even know if I like that feeling, but I feel like it's like very important to feel that sometimes. And I think with that song specifically, that was one of those songs where it was like, um, it feels like hopeful and sad a little bit at the same time. And it's like sort of this really real moment with this bird, but it's also sort of like really dreamy, like, you know, it's also kind of, the bird is very metaphorical too for like, because just like the sound of that morning, like they're called mourning doves for a reason. And also I feel like an idiot. I didn't know that it was morning like with a U. Like I found that out after. That's like my favorite song that I've done, honestly, like at least recently. So I could just kind of keep going on that one. I don't know. And I also was kind of like inspired by these like Scandinavian bands that like kind of do this I don't know, this same kind of music with like where it's like, honestly it was like I was influenced by Dive and this band called The Whitest Boy Alive and this band called Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs. And I thought it sounded so different than all my stuff. And then everybody's like, this sounds like all the other stuff. And I was like, all right, cool.
So when I looked up your song and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to listen to a song to like figure out what the vibes are. And I started playing your whole like music list on Apple Music. And I was at a cafe and it was like the perfect like chill cafe working vibe playlist. And I really liked Blue and Carmen Sandiego. What are your current personal favorite song?
Of just like in general or of my stuff?
Your stuff.
Like I really do think Bunny Ears is kind of the one that like I just think that one's kind of just like a sleeper where it's like a bunch in the Spotify Wrapped this year, like a lot of people were giving like a ton of love to that song, but it's not, I don't even think it's like in my top 6 or something of like on Spotify or anything. So like I don't know, I just like have I always get really annoyed when bands like have this like obscure favorite song of theirs and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, why is that your favorite? But like, kind of get it. So yeah, I like that one. And then I also just like, I always just like, I really like performing Nora. Like that one's really fun. It's fun to sing. And I think it's also just like a cathartic song. I like it because like some people think it's a breakup song and some people think it's like a positive relationship song. And I feel like the people that are in the middle of a breakup reach out and they're like, oh, dude, this is like helping me through my breakup. And like other people reach out and they're like, oh, dude, I like just started seeing this person and like this is our favorite song or whatever. I'm like, sick. Because that was kind of the point of it, is to like, I try to make songs that like are about like moments where you're feeling like multiple things at the same time and it's confusing. And like, you don't want to listen to a like really happy song, but you also don't want to listen to a really sad song. And you want something that just feels like you're like, oh, I don't even know how I feel, but I feel like 5 things or whatever, you know? So.
All right. So on the opposite side of the spectrum, kind of, if you could redo one of your songs, is there a song that you would redo?
Oh my God. I mean, like, there's an answer where I could maybe say like all of them. Like, I just think that like we all feel that way, that like if you're really like doing the artist thing for real, like you're probably someone who like is constantly striving and trying to get better. And like, I think as soon as like a year or two goes by, you look back at things and there's just like, oh, I could sing that better, or like I could have, you know, played that thing, or I could have like added another section, or, but so I think like the answer is like, there's always stuff I could go back and fix, but I wouldn't, because it's like, it exists already.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know,
it is what it
it
is.
is
Yeah.
what it is. What it is, and also like it gets really complicated. Like sometimes the imperfections are important in a,
Yeah.
and I think it's really hard to know what are like imperfections that are making the experience like I think there's imperfections that make it harder to connect with the song, and then there's imperfections that are just aesthetic imperfections, like the way that it sounds. So all of them, none of them, I don't know.
That was, I did not expect that actually, but I think I understand it. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, yeah, it's just you're just constantly in a state of flux, uh, and you just go through days where you're like there's like a really good graphic. I wonder if you guys can find it and like pull it up, because it's like a circle, and it's like, man, my track kind of slaps, and then it's like the next thing is like, I'm the worst piece of shit that's ever existed, and then it's like one other thing, and it's like, damn, this song kind of slaps, and it just keeps going around as it's,
Endless loop of being an artist.
yeah, we love it.
And you've been to quite a bit of different places for tour, including Europe. How does there in this scene differ from our SoCal scene? Would you say?
each each one's different, and I think it also depends on the venue a lot. The place that I played in Paris is called Supersonic, and then I played with my this other band that I play with at this place called Le Boule Noir, and each of those was like very different vibe wise. I'm just trying to think if there's any like similarity. I think like at least in Paris, like it's so walkable, and like I don't know if I'm like grossly misinformed about this, but I'm pretty sure everyone has like health care that's like much cheaper. And I know this sounds weird, but it's like I got like all the bands that played that night got like hour-long sound checks, and we had like so much time, and it was like so nice and easy compared to playing like most places in the US. And I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, like I bet people here are more like this, people doing sound are more willing to roll in early, give like long sound checks, like be there throughout the night, because like they're not worried about getting sick and having $1,000 fucking bill come out of nowhere. And then so I was like, I bet there are some things here that just make like the lift a little bit easier for live music, and I think maybe that's reflected in the vibe a little bit more, but I don't know, I'm really generalizing. And the other part was like, because it's walkable, it just felt like there's so much more foot traffic, and so much, and there's people are just like, you're done with the show, and you're just walking, and there's just hundreds of people like out, and like we walked all over literally with my gear, because I had to like bring it with me to the show, and then we were going out, and I like had to be rolling these huge like gear cases. But I think we walked like a few miles to this like fucking heavy metal bar or something, just because it sounded fun, and everybody's out, and like just in a more visible way, like maybe in LA, like everybody's out, but like they're not like out on the street. And
They have a spot they're going towards.
yeah, and this was like, you could detour to anywhere at any second, a little more like New York. And it just seemed like people were more down to like kind of get swept up in a vibe versus like, okay, we've got this plan, and like the FOMO is like crazy if we don't go to these exact things or whatever. So I don't know, that was cool. And then in London, and like Southampton specifically, where I went, which is like south of London, like people just like to party, man. Like it just like people love to drink, and like and I think in Southampton people were just like people were like, why are you here? And I was like, because it's sick. And like this guy Sean, shout out to Sean from Psych, like he had me come over, and it was just a vibe. That was like a really fun night. And me and my buddy, he was staying in London at the time, and we drove down there, and we've just been saying this phrase that this one guy was saying that we talked to. I was like, how did you show up here tonight? And he's like, oh, I just saw it on Instagram or whatever. And he brought his son, and this guy in the back is just going after all like the songs, like instead of being um yeah, fool, let's go. He just goes, very good, very good. And so now me and my homie, every time like anything cool happens, we just go, very good.
So little new vocal stem.
Exact new vocal stem unlocked. 100%.
What's something that the industry cares about, but you couldn't give two fucks about?
Oh, I love that question.
Because I noticed on your Instagram bio, you have your management email and a booking agent email. So I think you're very like in the industry working with a lot of people. So do you get things that are like, yeah,
Starting to. I think it's a tricky thing. Like, I mean, like I grew up in LA. I like come from that world a little bit and have never really fucked with it. And honestly, the name Famous Friend is kind of a joke about that.
yeah,
It's just kind of like taking the piss out of just like taking everything a little too seriously in LA and just like celebrity culture. But also it's like it can be really fun too, you know? Like it's fun to right. Yeah, honestly, you know, like there's two sides to it. And I think like that's what I try to speak to also in the music is like I have this old song called Los Angeles, but it's spelled jealous. And it's kind of about like when we're all hustling and we're trying to do cool stuff and everybody pops at different times. And it's like you want to support people, but also be real that like it can be excruciatingly painful when your shit isn't on and you have people popping around you. And I think like a really important skill. So maybe that's something that I don't fuck with. It's like, I think it's like really important to be honest about how you're feeling if you're like jealous or having a hard time with something and get that out there and still support people. But I think what happens a lot of times is people bury it and you can tell like you just did something really cool and there's just like you can just tell they're not really giving you the props and stuff. And I think if you just say like, fuck, you know what? I'm like really jealous of you right now, but also I'm so excited for you and I'm so happy for you versus like doing the thing of like, oh, that's really cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. And then you like change the song and it's just like, so I think that's the thing I don't fuck with the most is just like people not realizing it's like, it's okay to like struggle with these things and to talk about it with your friends and yeah, just be honest and then you can all kind of like come up together and help each other out, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of going off of that, Anna Goretti told me that you approached her at the women's festival. How do you go about networking with people at like events and stuff?
Honestly, I just like go through friends of friends and just like I think I found out about that because of Frankie from Frowny Face. Yeah, shout out Frankie. Shout out Honk. And yeah, you know, it's like I love what Frankie does with Frowny Face, and then she had been posting about that.
Yeah.
And I think you just go based off of like when you kind of do it long enough, it becomes really obvious who kind of has the energy around them of like kind of like I think it's a combination of like a team mentality, drive, and fun. You know, so I don't know. I didn't know anybody other like, and I barely knew Frankie at the time, but we had just been DMing and like showing love. And then I came out with Concert from Katsu Cassette. I was like, I think this will be fun. Like we should go. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think you guys were just like working the front and I was like, yo, I'm a fan. Like, cause I had checked out AKA through like Frankie's posts and stuff. And, but I think too, the other thing is like, I also try to look like how you can provide mutual value for each other.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people mess it up by trying to ask for favors really quickly, as opposed to like realize like you are dope and you actually could probably help them out in more ways than you can think. Cause I think in the beginning you think, oh, like, I don't know what I could do, but I could use help from this person. It's like, think about it. Like, you probably can offer something and, or just take your time with it. And then when you can both help each other, it'll just go like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier, like, than trying to get something. So I don't know. That's
Yeah. And it's just better if you have an open mind coming into the, place. Like, don't be so close minded. Like, just be open to like saying yes to things. I think that's a big part of building community, like showing up and saying yes.
100%. And to your point about being open minded, like, I think something I've also like, I think a lot of artists, we have very specific visions for things.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be careful of like, sometimes there can be a better thing that you didn't exactly envision once you start the collaboration. So you got to be careful to like hold the vision, but also be open, like that it could change and it could be better actually. So.
All right, I'm gonna ask, has there been a moment in your journey where it truly like reignited your spark?
Yeah, I mean, a few. I'll say three really. Like, so one was tan lines going viral on TikTok, which like sounds stupid, but honestly was really fun.
Yeah.
And was like really cool. And like just having a moment like that where like something that you made connected with people to that degree, it just felt really gratifying, like to like provide value. And honestly, it's really hard to go back and forth, like I was saying about like, is this trash? Is this good? Like, it's so hard to know. Like, and it's like things like that, like not that you should need it. Like ideally you just stand behind what you make, but it can be really helpful when a lot of people really fuck with something and you're just like, okay, I might be a little crazy, but I'm not like absolutely delusional or whatever, you know? So that was really cool. Another one was playing with so I work with this band Casa Cassette, like produce and mix for some of the songs with him and play guitar for the tours. And we played the House of Blues Anaheim with Twin Tribes and Traders, and it was just crazy. It was a crazy show. It was like I think it was like 3,000 people or something. Yeah, it was crazy. And like that was just like it was just insane, and it was like so invigorating. And then I would say like the other one this year too was just like that Paris show at Supersonic was just so fun. And honestly, like the one in Southampton too, like they're just like a bunch of people singing the words. Like they knew Nora and they knew Tan Lines and like they knew like Carmen Sandiego. And I was like, this is just crazy. Like I'm in France, I'm in London.
Yeah.
And like I feel like in some ways I'm like nothing has changed in certain ways. And then I come out here or I come out there and like it's like, dude, like everything's changed. Like there's people across the world that like know these songs and stuff. And like now I'm gonna be going to Australia in April.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And I might be going back to Paris and doing more UK in May. And it's also just because like in like a lot of my top listeners in Spotify are in Australia, and I had some people reach out about coming down there and stuff. And so it's like I think the spark is just like people actually give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool.
That's cool. Okay, so tell us about your upcoming shows, some 2026 moves, and where we can find you.
Yeah. Okay, so the big one is we've got a show on the 31st at the Echo, January 31st at the Echo, with the Grins and Camp Blue, which is almost sold out already. So it's gonna be crazy. And if you can make it to that one, like grab a ticket. Like I'm already like maxing out guest list. Like it's like crazy. I'm like, damn, I should have booked like a bigger place. But I love the Echo so much. So I'm really hyped that we're doing it there. And then Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a festival in Dallas in March, um, and then Australia in April, Europe in May, and then we're getting June together for a full U.S. tour. And that one will have some cool, really sick bands on that tour. So I'll probably be starting to talk about them soon. So.
So drop your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever social you got.
Oh yeah, just add famous friend on Instagram and everything's there. Yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much for driving. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure there'll be clips of it, but he was multitasking and I did not. Well, it's maybe too early to say, but I didn't drown.
I think we didn't crash.
We didn't crash. We didn't crash yet. But yeah, thank you so much for being down and like coming out. I had so much fun. And I'll see you at one of the shows probably.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, we really appreciate it.